Welcome to Shet Vidya Mandir online audio video lecture series. This is your maths professor Jaya Sharma, and this video we will be seeing lesson number 3 from maths 1. Lesson number 3 that is definite integration. We will see important formulae and sums from exercise 3.1. These are the important formulae from lesson differentiation which you need to know well. Once the derivative formulae are thorough, you will find integration very easy. We'll see the relation shortly, how it is relatable. But once these are done, our integration becomes easy. So let's get started. Now these are the list of first 10 important formulae that you need to know in integration. Just pause the video and take it down, and I'll explain how it can be learned easily by knowing the differentiation formula. Okay, now see what you need to know, something that is very important to be understood with integration and differentiation is very first. Let's say if derivative of any given function, okay, I'm representing the function as g of x plus c. Here c is any constant. I'll explain this what it is in some time further in the video. Let's say if the derivative of a given function with respect to x is another function, what answer we will get? Okay, f of x, then indefinite integration or indefinite integral of this function, which you will obtain after differentiating the given function with respect to x, is g of x plus c. Okay, now technically, when we try to know or understand this using the textual language, sometimes it may be very difficult to understand. So this can be like, therefore this can be further explained as d by dx of g of x plus c is equal to f of x. Okay, then we will get integration. This is the sign of integration. Integration f of x dx will be given by g of x plus c. Now I hope you have understood a little bit why the c is appearing. Okay, let's take an example. For example, let's say if you have d by dx of sin x, which is given by cos x, right? So according to this, what we have learned, according to this, integration of cos x dx would be sin x, right? But actually we need to consider plus c. Now why it is so, let's check it out. If I take d by dx of sin x plus 5, any constant, okay, so when you differentiate this, what you get? D by dx of sin x, you get cos x, and then d by dx of 5 gives you 0. So that means there is a constant which needs to be considered. Okay, so when differentiation of g of x is f of x, then integration of f of x dx should be gx plus c. Means if any constant is considered, that needs to appear in integral also. Okay, this is the main reason why we considered c, which is also called as arbitrary constant. Okay, now one more thing further, there are few formulae given in differentiation as well as integration. I have given the I have shared the pic in the beginning of this video. Just check that out. Now when we were doing differentiation, I gave you one trick that whenever you are differentiating for any trigonometric function which starts with c, the answer is negative, right? So in integration we have to remember, if answer for any integration or for any trigonometric function, integral of any trigonometric function, if you are getting the answer as starting with c, as in this case, so that answer has to be considered negative. Okay, this is the main thing which you need to remember, because once differentiation is done and we come to integration, kids tend to get confused with the negative sign. Okay, so this one trick can be used. I'll use one more formula to explain this. Now see, d by dx of cosec x was minus cosec x cot x, right? So here integration of cosec x cot x, this you will get as cosec x plus c. Now see, in answer you have got c, so this is negative. You just check out the list of formulae I have given and you will understand this much more better. Okay, so let's take sums and start solving them. Okay, now again there are few basics which we have already done in our 11th standard, as in let's say suppose there is like integration of two functions with plus or minus operator between them. Okay, so how it is done, you will segregate and you will put the integration sign for each function here as this f of x dx plus or minus whatever is given in the sum, plus or minus integration g of x dx, and then integrate each term separately. Okay, so let's take a sum based on such things. The easiest one first. Sum question is integrate the following with respect to x. So we will say I is equal to, now it is given as it is given to us as integration x cube plus x square minus x plus 1 dx. This is the question given to us. So let's see how we will solve this. Is equal to, now we will take this integral for each term inside. Okay, so we get integration x cube dx plus integration x square dx minus integration x dx plus integration 1 dx. And then when, if you are thorough with all the answers, all the formulae, I mean not answers, all the formulae, then this becomes easy. Here we will use the first formula, the integration x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. So x cube, you will get x raised to 4 upon 4 plus x cube upon 3 minus x square upon 2 plus integration of 1 dx is x. And then lastly we will write c. The moment you integrate each and every term of the expression or the function given, just consider plus c. This is very important. Okay, so see, this is it. First sum is done. Let's take another sum. Taking second question here. Second question, integrate the following with respect to x. This is the main question. Okay, so I get the question is x square into 1 minus 2 upon x the whole square. Okay, so let's consider this and let's see how we can solve this. Now suppose you get something like this. Now if you know basic mathematics well, see, this can be expanded using a minus b the whole square formula. So that is what I am doing first. I get here 1 minus 2 into 1 into 2 upon x, and I will sure that you all know to do this quickly mentally on your own, but still like for the first time. So I'm writing a square minus 2 into a into b plus b square, that I have used. Now take this x square inside the bracket, I mean multiply it with each term inside the bracket. So you get x square minus 4x plus 4, and then we have to integrate this with respect to x. So I get next integration x square dx minus, here we get 4 integration x, because this is constant, so that constant we take ahead of or outside the integral. This is how we write, plus integration, since this 4 is also a constant but there is no variable associated with it, so it is written like this, integration 4 dx. Okay, now let's write down the answer. Here we will get x cube upon 3 minus 4x square upon 2 plus 4x. Here it is done, so I write plus c. This can be reduced. So our final answer is x cube upon 3 minus 2x square plus 4x plus c. Okay, here we are done with second sum. Now there is a second main question which says evaluate You will see all the sums are that easy. Only thing is keep on preparing formula. This is what I used to instruct you in your differentiation lesson also. So same thing goes with integration. Nothing is very difficult. Keep on practicing daily. Okay. Now here one question I'm taking, evaluate from main question number 2. It's given as I is equal to integration tan square x dx. Okay, so simple tan square x, I'll use the identity we have seen in our 10th standard, that can be given as sec square x minus 1, right? So we get integration sec square x dx minus integration 1 dx. Here sec square x is differentiation of what? Tan. So integration of sec square x dx will be tan x minus x plus c. So this is the answer. See, here our next sum is also done. You will see one by one the complexity of questions does increases, but then you get a good practice of all the formulae also. Nothing to sit and keep on mugging up. Keep on practicing the sums and automatically all the formulae will fit in your mind. So next sum is integration sine 2x upon cos x. Now in trigonometry also, if you can simplify anything, just go for it. Now cos x is general, nothing can be written for in place of cos x, but sine 2x, yes, we do have formula for sine 2x, which is given by 2 sine x cos x upon cos x dx. Okay, so what we get, 2 here cos gets cancelled, we'll take 2 outside the integral, so 2 integration sine x dx. Here we get the answer. Now integration of sine is minus cos x, so we get minus 2 cos x plus c. See, again I'm done with second. Next question also, right? Let's take another sum wherein a little more explanation or simplification of the formula is required. So I'm taking the next sum as sin x upon 1 plus sin x dx. Okay, so let's start this. See, this is very easy. Sin x upon 1 plus sin x, when you're getting, I hope this reminds you of your 10th standard. Whenever you get such thing in denominator, the simplification is going same. We have seen such sums in our 11th standard also. What we do, you multiply and divide by conjugate of the denominator. So here I multiply and divide by 1 minus sin x. Okay, so let's see next what we will get. Now do not cancel this, again you will go to step 1. So next what we need to do, multiply. Okay, so sin x into 1 minus sin x, and in denominator you get 1 minus sin square x. Now what is this? A plus b into a minus b gets you a square minus b square. So again I get next, I take this sin x multiplied with each term inside. So I get sin x minus sin square x upon 1 minus sin square x gives you cos square x, identity used in 10th standard. Okay, so then now we will just use it separately for each term inside. So next I get integration sin x upon, okay, I'll take this here, sin x upon cos square x, dx minus integration sin square x upon cos square x dx. Okay, now here when I try to simplify, I can write it as integration sin upon cos, sin x upon cos x into 1 upon cos x, right? So 1 upon cos x is sec x and sin x upon cos x is tan x, right? Minus integration sin square x upon cos square x is integration tan square x, right? So in place of tan square x we will write, we'll use the identity. So I will get here sec square x minus 1, right? So I hope now you will be able to solve this further. Integration sec x tan x will give you sec x, and then here minus integration sec square x would give you tan x, and minus into minus 1, so that is plus 1. Integration 1 dx will give you x and plus c. This is our final answer. Just try to solve this once again on your own. I know I have skipped few steps here, like In this case I have not written sin x upon cos x into 1 upon cos x. I have directly written here. So just try to do this sum on your own. Okay, now check the next sum I have taken. I is equal to sin 4x into cos 3x dx. Now this is something like sin a cos b. So we have a formula for 2 sin a cos b, right? That is 2 sin a cos b is equal to sin a plus b plus sin a plus b plus sin a minus b, right? So we will use this formula to solve this sum further. But now, so this trick will be useful in solving many sums ahead. Now we don't have this 2 here, so what we will do, we'll multiply and divide by 2. 2 upon 2. From that numerator 2 I'll take inside the integral, and 1 upon 2 I'll keep outside. So I get here integration, half integration 2 sin 4x cos 3x dx. Okay, so next what we get, inside the integrator we have to solve using this formula. So I get sin 4x plus 3x plus sin 4x minus 3x. Okay, so what we get further, half integration sin 7x dx plus half integration sin x dx. Okay, do not forget this half is actually for each and every term inside the integral. So I have taken it in for both the terms like this. Now when we solve further, integration sin is cos 7x. So integration of sin 7x you will get cos 7x. Only thing is, then integration for 7x you will take this in denominator. Okay, and then answer was in C, so we get a negative sign here, and then plus what we get again here, integration sin x will give you cos x. Again here you need to take a half plus C. So answer is minus, I will multiply this, I get 1 upon 14 cos 7x minus 1 upon 2 cos x plus C. Okay, see the sums are so easy, right? I hope you're getting all the sums. Now quickly let's move further. This is going good. Keep on solving with me, and you will be the best in each and every sum. Okay, so wonderful question we have got. Next, I is equal to x upon x plus 2. Okay, so this is of the kind p upon q, right? Now whenever you get any sum of this sort, okay, you have to use this p upon q. In place of p upon q, I'll just write down here, let's say numerator upon denominator will be quotient, to bring it in this form, plus remainder upon d. Okay, now this question we won't need all this, but let's see, I'll explain this first. What is it? Try to get this in the numerator what you have in denominator. So in this case it can be done very easily. What I'll do, I'll just introduce a plus 2 and minus 2 here. Okay, see, the purpose is solved. I just needed plus 2, x plus 2 in numerator. I will put this in bracket. This is one and the same thing. Okay, now we will take this denominator to each term of the, for each term of the numerator. So next we get x plus 2 upon x plus 2 minus integration 2 upon x plus 2. Okay, I hope you understood this. What I have done, this denominator x plus 2 I have taken for first term, that is x plus 2, and then I have taken it for second term, that is minus 2, and then written like this. So here this gets cancelled, we get integration 1 dx minus this 2 we will take out, so get 1 upon x plus 2 dx. Now integration 1 dx is x, and here 1 upon x, integration of 1 upon x is log x. So integration of 1 upon x plus 2, same thing you have to use. Only thing, in place of x we have x plus 2 plus c. Okay, this is the answer. Well, I hope you are understanding all the sums. Let's move further quickly. Here one last sum I'm taking for this video, which will finish almost all type of sums from this exercise. Okay, keep practicing the remaining sums. Now I have taken I is equal to integration 5x plus 2 upon 3x minus 4. Now we will see how to do this. Okay, let's try to divide this with 3x minus 4. So what we will get here first, what we do, divide the first term of the dividend with first term of the divisor. Okay, so 5, what you get, 5x upon 3x, you get 5 upon 3. So that will become first term of your quotient. You understood what I have done? I am dividing this first term of dividend with first term of divisor. What will be the answer, or what is left? You will be the first term of quotient. See, we have done these type of sums in our 8th standard. And then multiply this 5 upon 3 into 3x. 3 will get cancelled, so you get 5x, and then 5 upon 3 into minus 4, you will get minus 20 upon 3, right? So now we are performing division. So when you put a minus sign here, this sign will change, this gets cancelled, and then 2 plus 20 upon 3, cross multiply, and you get 26 upon 3. Now this is our remainder. Okay, what I told here, n upon d is equal to q plus r upon d. So what we will use it here. Next step of our integration becomes 5 upon 3 plus 26 upon 3 upon what is it? This is, okay, I will just write down what this d represents. Actually, maybe you will get confused whether it is dividend or divisor. So this is 3x minus 4 here, that is dividend. Okay, here this is dividend. Fine. So see what we got here. Fine. Now quotient is 5 upon 3 plus remainder upon divisor. So we get remainder upon divisor. Okay, this relation you remember is from the school time. Okay, so 5 upon 3 integer, 26 upon 3 upon 3x plus minus 4. Okay, so that we have used, and then do not forget to write dx. Just simple. Now integration 5 upon 3 dx plus integration 26 upon 3 upon 3x minus 4 dx. What I have done, I have applied the integration for each term inside. Next we get 5 upon 3 integration 1 dx plus 26 upon 3 integration 1 upon 3x minus 4 dx, right? So what we get, 5 upon 3x plus 26 upon 3 log 3x minus 4 into, now you have to multiply with the coefficient of x, divide with the coefficient of x, not multiply, plus c. Okay, so we will multiply this, and our final answer would be 5 upon 3x plus 26 upon 9 log 3x minus 4 plus c. Okay, so this is our final answer. Right, I will just explain here this part. When I'm saying upon 3, see, if it would be d by dx of 3x minus 4, what answer we get? We get now let's say d by dx of sine 3x minus 4. Here it is with log, that I want to explain. Okay, so what we would get cos 3x minus 4, and then into d by dx of 3x minus 4, that would give us 3, right? You remember this composite function? Same thing you have to consider in integration. Now integration, what is it? See, here in composite function, when whatever we used to get in place of x, we used to multiply the answer. But in integration, you have to divide with that answer. So same thing I have done here. Integration of 1 upon 3x minus 4 gives you log of 3x minus 4 into this. Here we got 3, so that you have to take in division here. Okay, this is how I got the answer. I hope you are well versed with all the type of sums now. Keep on practicing, and thank you for watching this video.